Hey YouTube, how you guys doing today? Kevin here, coming back at you with another video. So, like I said, I have been not feeling good in the last few weeks. But one of my down days I was messing around with the bike. I didn't do it on video because it would have taken way too long. But I wanted to show you guys where I'm at. So you guys have seen this video. This is the one that we made, what do you call it, gt80 with the tachometer drive. I get the hole down on there. Get that all done. And I'm just getting some oil to the pump right there. I'm just doing it the old school way. This is the seat from the yellow one from the Harvey Spooner build. Let me show you guys that. So there's a, right down here, you undo this bolt right here, and then this piece slides out and then the pin comes out. So this one right here, this tray is not rotted out. This is the one from Harvey Spooner. This one is not rotted out at all. This is a good seat pan. The one that I had, I'll show you right here, sorry about that. The one that I had is legit all rotted out. So I'll show you what I mean. See all the rot holes right up in the top up there. A lot of rot holes, and the guy I got the bike from thought it had the original seat, but it turns out it was actually a nice seat cover. This thing's actually pretty sweet. And it's just a cover. You can see the little ties right there, and so I got a really nice seat cover for a GT80. Huh. I didn't know they made them like that, so it's pretty neat. So this is the seat from that GT80, the one that we're modifying, and you might notice that it's got the high compression head on there. So this motor right here is CDI ignition. It has the tachometer drive, and we got to switch out the gauges, put the other style gauges on, like I said I was going to do. Put the cables all on, put the carburetor, get that all buttoned up, and just go right through the rest of it. So the engine's all bolted down to the chassis. The brakes are hooked up in the back. Everything's loose right now because it all has to be, the chain has to go on. I got to change the front sprocket and all that. But I just wanted to, kind of go over what's going on with the bike. So she's coming along quite nicely, I think. And then, of course, we have to put the exhaust on it and all that happy stuff. And let's go take a look at the other bike. Okay, so now we're looking at the other bike, the 1977. What is the fate of this bike? Good engine. We're not stripping the engine down. We are going to rob the carburetor off of it and put it with the carburetor from the other one and because I need to get the choke piece. But other than that, it's all good. And what is the fate of this bike? So everybody's like, oh, this is the bike you got from Harvey Spooner. Yes, this is the bike I got from Harvey Spooner, and I'm very, very happy, very glad that it's in my collection. I have to do something special with this bike. I can't just rob it for parts, take these parts off here, throw them on a better bike, and then leave a gift to rot. It's not how I roll. The tank is excellent. It's got the oil reserve tank on it. It's got this exhaust on it. So it got a lot of cool pieces. You guys don't know I'm going with this, do you? So I'm going to show you guys what I plan on doing with this cool little bike. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. So this motor right here came off of a Honda MB5. This is the engine also that came from Harvey Spooner. So what I had to do in order to take the gauges off the Honda for the Kawasaki KE102 build, these gauges right here, I had to appease the Japanese motorcycle gods and get this engine running first. Did that. Even made the wiring harness with all the parts and pieces to it. So how I'm looking at it is simple. Okay, I need parts for that bike that's going to be in my collection of one-off bikes. I need parts from a bike that I got as a gift from a friend. But I have also a cool gift that's sitting around doing nothing, collecting dust. I can actually use this one on that 1977 yellow bike and make a 5-speed, yes, you heard me right, a 5-speed 50cc mini dirt bike. And I think that would be really super cool. So tell me what you guys think. What are your thoughts? It's going to be a lot of modification. It can be done. It's going to be done. And it's going to be simply awesome. And I have the exhaust for this bike, for this engine, but we don't want to use a Honda exhaust on this. No. So here are the rules of this one. Okay? Because every time I set these, I have to have rules. One, of course, this bike is going to be in my collection, my family, because it's going to be a one-off bike. So it's got to be CDI. Check. This one's CDI. It's got to have the air filter assembly connected properly. Check. That right there is going to line right up with the original air filter assembly box. Perfect. Oil injection. Check. We're going to utilize the oil tank that's on the bike, and here on the back of the motor is the pump. So the only thing we're going to have to do on this frame is we're going to have to modify the motor mounts. Not that big of a deal, because these ones are off-centered. I think the bottom one is centered. I think the bottom one is correct, but you can see how wide the top one is. So we're going to have to do some finagling with the top one, and the top other one is hung right there. This engine is a hanging engine, not a cradled engine. What's the difference? The difference is this one's like my Virago. It doesn't have a frame underneath the engine. The frame, it bolts up top and comes over. So, like for instance, I'll show you. This bike right here has a cradle. A cradle, it bolts down under here. The frame goes underneath the engine and cradles it. It's basically holding it up. Where the other one, the frame comes up and over, and there's nothing under the engine. The engine's just freely hanging there. And well, that's that style. We're not going to do that to this motor. We're going to put a cradle under it. We're going to leave the cradle that's there, modify it to fit, and then that's what we're going to do. So this is for the Harvey Spooner bike build, but we have to do one more thing. Everything that this bike had has to have. What that means is this bike has a tachometer drive already on it. Right here, this cable. There's a tachometer. We're going to have to put a tachometer on that bike. I'm thinking we're going to find some retro cool older one. I think I have one that would work. I think I have a nice set of gauges that are going to work on that bike. These two are in the wrong spot, but you can see how you got the tachometer and the speedometer. The Yamaha. These are RD something. I don't know. I think I have the key to it too. But we're going to swap these around, put them in their proper places, and utilize these gauges right here on that bike. So, tell me what your thoughts are on this project. I really like the idea. It gets this engine, instead of sitting, it gets it to use. I'm not going to sell it. I'm going to utilize it. I'm going to use it. And I think it would be a really cool motor to put together on a dirt bike. I mean, tell me what you guys think. This is a 50cc. So it's nothing bigger than a 50. It's a 5-speed manual with a counterbalance shaft. So this motor is really, really smooth. You can look back on some of my earlier videos and just type in Harvey Spooner or the MB5, and you'll see this thing running. Now there's two MB5s on my channel. There's an early one that I got from Rock and Roll, and he's my scrap guy. And then I got this one right here from the Harvey Spooner. So make sure you type in Harvey Spooner, and you can actually hear this engine run. It was sitting on a pallet, and I had the exhaust going straight up. So it's a really good running motor. When I got it, it had no compression, or very low compression, and it just had stuck rings just from sitting. The bike had sat for so long, and that's what I have a fear that is going to happen again, because I'm going to show you guys where it was sitting for the last 6 months. Not 6 months, like 3 months. It was sitting in that hole right there underneath my bench. And prior to that, it was in one of my storage units. I don't want the bike motor to sit anymore. Let's use it. Let's put it to use. I can grab the parts from that 77, put them on that 1980, and make a great 1980 with all the bells, whistles, and everything the way I like it. And then I could take that old awesome bike and put another awesome engine on it from a friend, actually, funny as it is, from the same friend, and end up with a bike that is a one-off, really, really fun to ride, and the kids will love it. It's going to be able, you know, the kids will enjoy it, you know. They'll be able to ride it around the yard. It'll haul me. So it'd be just a really cool bike in my arsenal. I think it'd be a real fun thing to have and ride around. It'd be pretty cool having one of these next to one of those. And this bike right here is not really an 80 anyway. This bike is actually a 72cc. So they're very close in size. And here's my other thought. Most of the parts that I put on this bike are from an RX-50. So I know it'll work. And I think that having this bike motor on that bike will be really, really cool. So once again, share your thoughts, guys. I'm off for right now. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching and sharing my videos. And please, comment below. Tell me what you think of this build. I think it's going to be a really fun build. I was going to put this on a Kawasaki KV75 frame. I thought it would be really cool. And then I ended up doing the my Andrew bike build. And so I didn't end up doing it, but I still have the engine. So I want to put it on something really, really neat. I found what I want to do with it. So once again, share your thoughts. I'm off, guys. Have a good night. I'll talk to you later. I'm out.